everybody, and welcome back to Stoneblock 2 Bedrock Edition. First of all, I think we're going to cover the decoration I said I would do in between episodes because, well, as you can see by the lovely checkerboard floor and the few posts that I've got up in the background, I made a definite start. I also happen to like torches, if you hadn't noticed. Let's go and have a look and see what else I've done. As you can see, I've done all four corners in here, and the hope is eventually we'll obviously get something through the middle as well. Made a bit of a grand entrance with a few little decorative pieces in there. And this is my main area, and this is the big change I've done. Cleaned up all my ugly storage that was sitting in there, and I've given it a home, which I'll show you shortly. Put in a few lanterns hanging down from the ceiling, made the place look a little bit more respectable. I've left this here because this is really handy to still make resources with. And as you can see, I've made a major change with our cow area, which I have now fondly named the barn. I've also expanded it out some more. The idea is we're going to put some chicken pens in here because there is another quest book for the chickens, which we will want to complete at some point, although we're not going to look at that today. And I've opened up this area and this area, and I'm going to make this sort of a beginning bit of storage, just a little bit of storage for inside the barn. I've put most of the cows away in the chest over there, and I've kept out a few of the iron cows because they've come really handy for resources and stuff as we go. Moo you do. So here we have all our cows, and you'll see for most of them, all the ones that I feel were important enough, I've kept 2 of each. So I've always got a breeding pair, and we've still got our heaps of oil cows, which will be really handy. And I've kept a few bits and pieces as well. So that's all our remnants of the cow quests. And of course, out here I have on display the ones that I feel were the most important. I probably will add the 3 more here, but for now, I'm just going to stick with the main 9. So we have XP, we have gold, we have redstone, water, lava, witch water, oil, copper, and iron. And each of these jars gives us 4 buckets of molten whatever it is we need. I have kept our ugly nether portal there, but I'm going to work on that, and there's going to be something I'm going to show you very shortly that's going to help us work on that one. I've managed to get a few more drippers, and I've put the dripper book up here so that I can, well, it's a very special dripper book actually, and I didn't realize I had it. And it's got the dripper liquid uses, so it tells us what blocks work with what liquid, so I thought that was pretty handy to have. Because there's no way I'm going to remember all those off by heart. And some of them I think are going to come in handy further on down the track. So I'm keeping that there so we can easily access it. And I've left 4 drippers out here so that we can easily create whatever we need depending on what liquid we need. Now honey is one of the cows, so potentially I'm going to end up putting a honey jar over there as well. In this little structure here I have put 9 hoppers, and this is the heavy sieve. So for the compressed, and the idea is that hoppers will just capture everything as I sieve everything, so it should try and make that a little bit easier. Obviously a few bits and pieces sometimes flick up on the fences, so it's not 100% perfect, but it does make things a little bit easier. And here we have the beginning of our storage, and I've just simply called this storage. If you can think of a really cool name, put it in the comments, and I'll give it a pretty cool name too. So we've just got all our standard sort of storage stuff, foods and everything all nicely sorted and organised. So, oops, let's hit that one twice so I know where everything is. And over here we've got all our blocks. There's our stone, our cobble, the diorite, everything else in there, and that's going to be extra stuff. And over here I have a little bit more storage, and I've put our essences, our totems, our chicken stuff, which I'll slowly build up. And while I was doing all this, a blackstone chicken spawned in, so we might find a use for that one too, which will be pretty cool. The seeds, so we'll start building those up shortly. All my precious metals and all the stuff that comes out of the sieves, and of course all our books. Now, you will have seen my inventory. I'll explain all that very shortly. Down here I've expanded the storage out a bit. I'm going to probably add a couple more sort of sections a bit like this, and what I've done is I've put every single one of the trees except for the acacia at this stage because I'm not a huge fan, but I also ran out of terracotta to make these, but I've put all our as many trees as I could up here, and I've also obviously still got the carrots and the beetroot and the wheat. And this here is just a little bone meal maker, which is pretty simple, just a chest with a hopper into a composter, which automatically composts the bone meal down, so that makes it nice and easy. Now, the idea is this is going to extend on further, but for now, this works for us. And then, of course, we've got our machine room, which is hopefully what we're going to start with today. First up, let's have a look at what's in my inventory. As you'll see, I've got a few of these interesting looking bits and pieces, which you may not have seen before, but if you've played these sort of packs before, or a Dan Rob's pack before with Feed the Beast, you'll know some of these. Now, I'd actually forgotten about these, and it wasn't until I watched UK Granny Gamer that she reminded me that these things existed. And this is how we get our diamond and iron pickaxes. So if I bring up our diamond pickaxe, silly goose. Need to be in this one, right? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so if we click on, say, the diamond pickaxe, as you can see, it has these 3 pieces. It's got a stick, a wooden binding, and a pickaxe head. Now, in Java, Feed the Beast has a mod pack it uses called Tinker's Construct, or Tinker's, I think. I can't remember its full name. This pack, this stuff here, is based on that concept. Part of the Tinker's Construct pack is you need a stencil table. You don't have to have a pattern chest, but it's helpful. Plus you need part builder. Now, you know I've got one somewhere around because I have the 3 books that come with these pieces. So when you make the part builder, you get the Materials in You Volume 1. When you make, I think, the stencil table, you get Volume 2, and when you make the forge, you get Volume 3. Let's have a look at the Materials in You volume, and this will give us some idea of how this works. So the first step in creating tools is to craft a blank pattern. This is a blank slate to stamp out a shape on, then it can be used for future creations. The patterns are shaped on the stencil table and are used as tabletops. You can then use the part builder to shape different materials with the patterns and then combine them to make tools. You can store these patterns in the pattern chest. Altogether, these make up your workshop. There's our recipe for our blank pattern. There's our recipe for our stencil table, and there's our recipe for our part builder. And this, of course, is the recipe for the pattern chest. In Volume 2, you'll learn all about the forge. From here we can make a mangrove part builder. Beautiful. There we go. And it just looks like a crafting table, which it pretty much is a crafting table, just as a table. Alright, perfect. And we can make, as you can see, we can make all these things with the crafting table. With the part builder. And it's all it can make. It can't treat it, I thought it could be, but hence I'm wrong, it can't be treated as a normal crafting table, so that's pretty interesting and pretty cool too. Okay, sweet. Alright, so now that we've got that, let's grab Materials in You. Oh, so it must be the other way around then. I thought Volume 2 came from the forge. I did all these in very quick succession, so all of a sudden I had all the books in my hand, so I'm not 100% sure where the books came from. So it looks like the forge gives you Volume 2. So I've made that forge, and that's a recipe for it. So stone bricks, a blast furnace, and the glass. Welcome to this guide all about the forge. Once you have your hands on one, power it up by placing a bucket of lava inside it, and I'll show you about that shortly. Once it is fuel, you can add different types of ores and gravel ores. You can add iron, gold, diamond, emerald, and copper. When you have raw ore in the tank, you can use patterns to create new materials such as ingots, tools, weapons heads, and even buckets. Patterns are single-use casts and burn up once you use them. You can make permanent casts by using a gold alloy. Gold alloys. To make a gold alloy, place 1 raw gold and 1 raw iron in the forge. It'll make a darker gold colour liquid in the tank, and this makes enough for 2 casts. A cast, once you have the gold alloy liquid, use any pattern to turn it into a cast. You can turn most patterns into a cast except for the guards, as guards are only craftable. If you have a full tank of molten ore, you can pour it into the basin. Once the molten ore is in the basin, you can leave it to cool on its own or add a water bucket to cool it down manually. Then you can simply take the block. You can place 4 blocks of cobblestone into the forge to create lava. When the tank is full, you can pour the lava out. Then you can either collect the lava with a bucket or cool it with a water bucket to get obsidian. Thank you for reading this handy little guide. You should now be an expert. Happy forging! But let's have a quick look at volume 3. And I think this is all about the patterns, which I'm going to show you how that works. And the casts, how to make new tools. Alright, so it's all it really is pretty self-explanatory, especially if you've used tinkers before. It's basically the same sort of theory. But we're going to find a nice little happy home for these, and I'm thinking, so we have all 3 things. We put the pattern chest there, stencil table there, and the part builder there. Now we should be able to get there, we should be able to access that. And then of course we have the forge. Now I originally had the forge set up here. This is what it looks like. So you got your tank, you've got your where your molten stuff goes, and you've got your furnace basically right there. And in that goes a lava bucket and it all lights up. Now, this is where the fun starts, because you can either, and I'm going to do it this way for the gold, but I don't have enough. Oh, I do have raw iron. Cool. So I've got heaps of raw iron, which I got from basically doing the old, take a bucket from there, put it in there, pickaxe it out. Okay, so that's how I did that. And then from there you can break it down to more iron. And then you put this in, and it only needs 4. It's shift right click on the little spout. It makes this solid block. And if you give it a second or 2, ta-da! And it's a... Wait, what? Ah, right click, don't left click. I was hurting it, poor thing. So from 4 raw iron, you can get yourself 9 ingots. So it's a really, really good rate of return. So you need sticks and some planks. And in a crafting table, you can make these blank patterns. So I'm going to make a few of these because we're going to need a few. And then if we go to the, I believe it's this one, the stencil table, it shows you all the different patterns you can make. So you've got an axe head, the binding, the blanks, the guard, the hoe, the ingot, the pickaxe, the shovel, and the sword. Now I want an axe, so I'm going to make an axe head. And those are going to be the 2. I'm also going to need a binding pattern. In fact, I'm going to need 2 of those. One for the axe, one for the pickaxe. And I don't need a guard. We should be good there. Alright, so we're going to do a little bit of testing on this because I'm not 100% sure what can be made into a... what can be made into a cast and what can't. So we'll make our raw gold. We'll put a raw gold in there and a raw iron, and it makes this darker yellow alloy. And we're going to start with the pickaxe. So I believe I just right click, and look at that, it's converted it into a cast, which is fantastic. Now I think I'll do the same for the axe because we can make 2 of those, so that's beautiful. Do I have enough here To make another gold, I do. Another gold scrap, just quickly. I mean, I could do this using the buckets, but just wanna... I'm curious to know, because when I've played this in the past, the binding patterns haven't been able to be made into a cast. No, that's what I thought. So I can't make a cast out of the binding pattern. From what I believe, the only thing that can make the binding is oak planks. It could be any planks, but for sure, definitely, I know it's the oak plank. So we need 2 of those. So we'll make 2 of those. So that gives us 2 casts. Gonna quickly make another couple of casts. I'll make a sword cast. Or what else do I want? Shovel, maybe? Since I've got the gold alloy in here, we might as well utilize it and convert these into casts. And that way we've got all 4 of our casts ready to go. So that's fantastic. So the goal here at the moment is to make that there. I think I'm going to leave the sticks there. So I've always got those available. The goal here is to make a diamond pickaxe so we can move the obsidian. And I do believe I've got a fair amount of diamonds. Now I don't know if I can mount those back down. Let's see if I can. No, I can't. Oh no, I don't know what I'm going to do with those 6 diamonds then. To make some armor out of them. I've only got 2 diamond scraps, so that's a bit of a bummer. Let's see. What am I going to do? What should I make it out of? I can just make it out of raw iron. Just getting the diamond is going to be quite hard. So I'm just going to make... We'll make a iron pickaxe and a iron axe. And yes, you have to walk into them. And there they are. There's your iron pickaxe. Where'd the iron axe go? There it is. And there's the iron axe head. So we're almost fully there. Here we go. We can now make an iron pickaxe and an iron axe. Yeah, there you go. So look at that. Wonderful. Perfect. We'll go and make ourselves some more iron bits, shall we? I'll put those away. Since we've got some iron in here, we might as well utilize it. Oh, gosh. Stuff gets everywhere. I'll need to make another 2 of those and another 2 patterns, so we'll make another 2 of those. And then I suppose the only way I can use this is for the binding. Go back to the crafting table, which I'm probably going to have to move, I think. You make... Oh! Is that not how you make a sword? How do I make the iron sword? Oh, I need an iron guard. Wow. Put myself out on that one, didn't I? Interesting, interesting. Alright, let's quickly make the iron guard then. We can do that. And I believe they said that this couldn't be, it couldn't be made into... Oh wow. It's confusing. Well, you can't make an iron guard. Well, I'm very confused now. So what can I make a... Oh, wow. Wow. Okay, look at that. We're learning. We're learning together. Very much learning together. I've never really used this, so this is all news to me. But there we go. We have our first iron sword. So I'd like to get a couple of these things. What are they called? I'll need more sticks. Item frames? Item frames. I'd like to get a couple of item frames. And hang. I know this is going to make my world real laggy. But I'd really like to hang these up where I can have them as a reminder of what we've used in the past. Then I'll put the stone sword in there in case, the stone axe I should say, in case I even need it. The hammer cannot be made into anything but stone. It's only a stone one, so we'll leave that one alone, that's fine. And there we go. So now we've got our very first, well, they're not our first tools, but some of our first tools. And they can stay up there to remind us how far we've come. So let's have a look at what our next quest was. So this is the power, relay power. We're making relay power, which is pretty exciting. And I believe I needed a ton of copper for this because we need to make a copper coil to start off with. Ooh, too many P's. P-E-R. We need to make a copper coil, so I needed 6 copper ingots and 3 diorite alloys. Then we're good to go with making a copper coil. So I've got 10 there. And as for the copper, a ton of copper. Oh, we got 4 ingots there. We'll grab those 36 as well. Let's make ourselves a bunch of copper. Actually, what am I doing? That's what I want to do. It's this that I wanted to do that way. So we've got 31 just off the bat right there. We will shift and get that out. Then I believe the book said something about water on here, but to be quite honest, it's pretty fast to flick over, so I'm really not that worried about it using water. This should make the blocks. Will give us all the ingots we could ever want. Look at that. Perfect. Alright, so I think we've got enough copper to make the relay anyway, so let's go do that. I mean, not to make them, to make the copper coils. You get 3 every time you make one, so out of the 6 ingots and the 6 diorites you get 3. I'm just going to leave it at that for now because I'm not sure what else I need the diorite for. And then let's go and have a look at the power emitter. I believe it's this one here. So we also need a alloy block, which means I'm going to need a few more of these, some oak planks and some redstone torches, all of which are easily obtainable. What else did we need? Block. And there it is. There it is. That's the baby. That's what we want. Perfect. Now, this is the reason I dug out such a big machine room, and I've been fascinated with the number 36 because this beautiful little device I have in my hand right here, it works in a circular area with a diameter of 36 blocks, I believe. So if I put this one relay down, in theory, pretty much every square in this room is covered by this relay emitter, which I think is pretty cool. So, intention is to put it down right there. There we go. Quest 23. We have the power. Oh, I'm just going to back away. It's a little scary. So we have to check our quest book. And along with that, we got this relay power basics. So let's have a quick read of this. A guide to relay power. Your #1 guide to all things about relay power within Stoneblock 2. In the next few pages, you'll learn all about relay power, such as crafting, usage, and much more. Oh my gosh, there's 13 pages. This is how to make the emitter, which is what we've just made. It's the main hub of any network. Think of it as the one big battery. It stores relay power inside itself, which can then be used to power other relay powered machines. To see how much relay power you have in a network, just simply walk near the emitter to see the total amount. You can only have one emitter in a network. There you go. A network can be a maximum of 32 blocks in diameter. So mine's slightly bigger because it's 36, I think, across. But that's okay. It's still going to work. To see the radius of a relay power network, simply punch the relay power emitter. You can have multiple relay power networks as long as they are distant from each other. You can also craft an examiner. This little device will show you all of your networks all in one. And the relay power emitter will shock you if you get too close. You can remove it by simply punching it and sneaking, but this will also remove any power inside it. There are a variety of relay-powered machines. Take along the crafting table for recipes. There are two main ways of producing power. One is with the use of panels and the other is with the use of engines. Panels are a great way to produce relay power passively. Once crafted, simply place them down in a network to start producing power. The glowstone panel brings 8, cell panels 24, ender panels 72 every 3 seconds. The engine produces relay power a lot faster than panels, but it also requires some unique fuels. The fuel types are honey, soil lava, or oil. One bucket will fill one level of its tank. Using different fuel types will increase its output, as well as its duration. Honey is 60, soil lava is 180, and oil is 360, and hence the need for the oil cows. And that's every 3 seconds. You can obtain these fuel types from milking certain cow types. Lastly, to help with automation, there are relay-powered conveyor belts. These belts require a constant flow of relay power to function correctly, and by combining belts and hoppers, you can easily automate things. So hopefully I'm going to get a bit of an understanding of how that works, because that'd be great. So apparently we can punch this to see... I don't know. Is it showing me its radius? Maybe this isn't 32. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh wow, I'm actually inside the radius. Well, there you go. There you go. See that red spot there? That's telling me how far out its radius is. So my little circle is actually small enough to fit inside the radius of this thing, which is fantastic. It's exactly what we want. Am I being electrocuted or am I just needing to eat more? Alright, so we have relay power. And as you can see when I punched it, we've got 0 of 50,000 down the bottom there. So what we need to do is we need to get a few things to get this actually starting to store some power. And the best way to do that is through these panels, not the daylight sensor. There's the solar panel, there it is. Is through these. Wow, I really did misjudge that. Huh. Oh well, that's alright. I'm happy with it. So what I'm thinking of doing is these just have to be in the vicinity, so within that radius of the emitter for these to work. So I'm actually thinking I'm going to do a line out the back and probably focus on out the back here being sort of the engines that will supply the power, and everything on this side of the emitter will be the things that we need to make things basically. So I'm going to put that there, and there we go. See how that number down the bottom just went up, and you can see all the little particles coming out of there. So these can work regardless of whether they can see sunlight, which is pretty damn awesome, I think. And yeah, so now we're going to start producing power. We're going to need a whole lot more than that. So we're going to have to look at how we can make all these emitters, and I do believe that's going to involve a fair amount. Let me just grab the daylight sensors, because I believe it involves the daylight sensors, and I also panel. Let's look up panel. Here we go. So here's the 3 panels. We've got the ender panel, which is all this. Now we can get end stone. I'm just not sure how to get ender pearls as of yet. The soul panel, which we can get the soul lava bucket, and we can get soul sand as well now that we've got access to the nether. So because netherrack hammers down into soul sand, I'll show you that shortly. So that's one way of doing that. That's a good one, and then the little baby glowstone, which to be quite honest I'm not too stressed about. What I want to focus on is these two, and I want to get up a sort of a selection of probably 9 or 10 of these. So let me show you how to make soul sand, because that's very easy. I'll put that back in there. So as you know, we went to the we went over into the nether and we got ourselves a bit of netherrack. And one of the things that happens with netherrack when you smack it with a hammer is it turns into soul sand. Now the soul sand doesn't turn into anything else. You can, however, oh, I won't be able to put it there, hang on. We'll just do one. This. We have to use compressed because I've got the compressed, the heavy sieve on. So we put that in there and it pulls out quartz dust. So here's all the things we can get from it. So let me just remove some of the stuff out of the top of my inventory so you can see. You can get these gold, I believe. So you can get a netherwort, you can get gas tears, you can get glowstone dust, you can get quartz dust, you can get blaze powder, and you can get gold scraps from soul sand. So it's a really, really good thing for us to probably go through and do. As you can see, the levels are pretty low. That was out of 9, so there's not a huge collection of stuff, but that's okay. We're not too stressed over that. Just means we need a lot of netherrack, so we're gonna have to do a lot of digging in the nether to get all that netherrack. And I'd already tested some of this, so hence why there's a sort of collection up here already. So one other way we can get netherrack, I believe, is via the drippers. So if we have a quick look at the book, well, not netherrack, sorry, we can get sand, soul sand, by dripping lava onto normal sand, or we can do it with the compressed as well, which I thought is a possibility right there. And I think that's the only other only other way I could see of getting soul sand easily was through this way. So either way, it's going to involve a little bit of mining, because we either have to go through and convert the cobblestone through to sand to get the soul sand, or we go to the nether and we just dig out a huge massive chunk of the nether. Remembering that if we do start doing stuff in the nether, it's going to start having mobs come in, which it's a little bit scary for me, so we'll see how we go. I probably will end up clearing out a huge chunk of the nether to get netherrack. I'm thinking it's probably the easiest way to do it for me, and I can always just put carpet or something down to stop the mobs from spawning. Okay, so now that we've got the relay power basics, let's have a look at the quest book, see what we get. So we got a copper block from that, so that's awesome. So like a rechargeable battery, the relay power emitter also needs power. Let's make a basic form of power with the glowstone panel. Craft and place down a glowstone panel. And this is going to give us some more daylight detectors, so that's pretty exciting. Alright, so to do that, listen to ingots, because ingots are always easier. We need to go back. Wait. Yep. We need to get our daylight sensor. We go back in here and we need to make our glowstone panel. So the only thing I'm missing is the glowstone dust. I've got 2 here. I've got 2 here. So we've got just enough, which is perfect. 1 glowstone panel. And we can pop that down. There we go, charged. Perfect. And that gets us 2 more daylight detectors, like I said, so that's fantastic. Now we have power, let's make something that requires it. Let's try a cobblestone generator. Oh, now we're getting into some real juicy stuff. Craft and place down a cobblestone generator. Oh, we get chance cubes, yay. All right, let's go see if we can figure out how to make a good old cobble gen. So how do we make that? Oh, there's several different ones. I think we want to start with this one. So I do believe the others are all going to involve the basic one. So we'll start with the basic one. We've got the alloys, we need some more copper coils, we need some white stained glass, and a water bucket and a lava bucket. Well, the buckets aren't hard. Do those straight away. Ah, Bedrock. We love ya. Water, lava. That's done. The white stained glass will involve my one piece of bone meal. That's okay. I can handle. No, for real, I can handle it. It's fine. And I think we put the copper coils in here, didn't we? We did. So we'll grab a copper coil. We'll grab some glass. All right, let's go and piece this all together. So I think the white stained glass is this. That gives us a small chunk, so that's awesome. And there we go. There it is. One relay, and we got our buckets back. Nice. One relay powered cobblestone gen. Look at that beauty. We're gonna put the cobble gen down here for now. Oh, that was loud. Automation completed. Check your quest book. Well, first of all, we're going to read up about the relay powered cobble gens. Your number one guide all about the relay powered cobblestone generator within Stoneblock 2. The next 3 pages, well, there's only 6 this time, will explain the relay powered cobblestone generator in more detail and its uses. That's how you make it. Great way of obtaining cobblestone. It's required. 4 generator types to craft, each using more relay power in exchange for speed and output. So standard will do 10. Iron is 25, gold is 200, diamond is 500. You can place relay powered cobblestone generators on top of hoppers to automate the process. If you sneak and punch it, it'll drop itself. Okay, so that's why we've currently got floating cobblestones. I just need another chest, I think. Got another 2 in there, so that's perfect. Let's quickly make a copper, and what we'll do, oh, look at all that power going between them. There's quite a bit of power there. It doesn't look like it's going down when this thing uses power, so that's a good start. Alright, so let's break that for a second. Let's put a chest down. Help me. I might cry because it'll hurt. Copper there. Got a generator on top. Hopefully. Sit and wait. Quick little wait. So we've got 8 in there. Hopefully this should drop it in if everything's working the way I think it should work. Perfect. Look at that. 9. Beautiful. So that can just quietly fill up. Now, the idea is, I believe, that is you can use the conveyor belts and we can push them along to the next step. So let's go see what the next step might actually be since we completed that one. Have a look. Now we have power. Yep, they've done that. Objective complete. We'll climb the normal ones. It's time to retire the old stone hammer and make a shiny new relay powered hammer. Craft and place down a relay powered hammer. Ooh, okay, cool. This is going to be cool. All right, let's go clear out our inventory a little bit. I am not putting those down anywhere just yet. Don't worry. We're going to have a episode where I'm going to do some of these at some point shortly. We are going to need more power as well, so I'm going to hold on to those because I do know that's coming. All right, what do we need? We need a relay powered hammer. So if we look up hammer, we have one there. And this is the stuff we need for it. So we need to make some alloy cogs, an anvil, and a piston. Holy crap. Okay, Right, so let's start with the copper coil, shall we? And now we can make the relay powered hammer. Woohoo! Alright, so if we put this, I think, here maybe? Put it there. Boom, baby! Completed. Alright, and what have we got? We've got the relay powered hammer. This is your guide, as we know. Let's have a look. It's how you make it. The powered hammer uses 50 RP per block broken, 450 per compressed block. Wow, it ramps up quite high. There's a toggleable button which switches the block type to break. Simply punch it to switch it. By using droppers or relay powered conveyor belts, you can fully automate the process. Compressed block types also work. So down the front here, see it's got that little image of the cobblestone. So that's how, you know, at the moment we can grab some of this cobblestone. We can only do one at a time. I haven't got enough left now, but let's grab another two. I'm just gonna, no I'm not. I was going to make a crafting table, but I just realised I've got several crafting tables up here. So what we might do is we might just quickly grab one of these and we'll put it down the bottom there, because I think we're going to need one down the bottom. What the world is telling me. So we don't think I really want to put it beside the relay, dude. I don't really want to put it to electrocute myself. Alright, so from here we should be able to take this, compress it, get the compressed one and put it in there. There, look at that, look at all that gravel. Perfect, and now we've got gravel. How awesome is that? And then I believe, there we go. So you can change it to, that's how you change it. So you just left click and it changes to whatever one you're at. So you could make one for each of the different types and then have them all running conveyor belts together, which I think we'll have a little bit of a play with in an episode. I actually think that's going to be a little bit of fun to play with, trying to get that all working and trying to figure it out, the automation side of things. And let's have a look at another quest. So we've completed that one, so we can complain all our compressed stuff. We can obtain. There we go. Now you're a master of machinery. It's time to become the ultimate tinker and make your workshop. Okay, so I didn't realize this was part of the quest book itself, which is really interesting because I didn't remember it being part of the quest book. So let's just quickly go and do that because we've already pretty much done it. What's it say? It needs... Ah, there we go. It's completed it already for us. Fantastic. I didn't even have to do it. That's awesome. So there we go. And craft and place down the forge. There we go. It's already registered it. Oh, this is awesome. This is the way to do it. And we'll grab normal. Now we've got to learn how to make a basic wand. Believe it or not, I actually have one of those because I already got one. So that's nice and simple as well. And this is going to give us access to the chicken quest book. Okay, so, oh, things are going a little bit haywire with this one. That's okay. So then we've got put the pumpkin pie down. It's time to hone your baking skills and make a new type of cake that is truly out of this world. Craft an ender cake. Oh, that makes me really nervous. I don't know if I'm ready for the end. Oh, that is really scary. But we do have a chicken quest book. So, welcome to Stoneblock 2 Chicken Quest Book. Here you'll follow along with all the chicken related quests. To begin with, you'll need to create a chicken wand. Which I actually already have one, but I'm not going to go and do that right now. Oh my goodness. So how many quests have we completed so far today? We've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know what? I think, my lovely friends, that we have done enough quests for today. We've managed to achieve so much. So we got the tinkers going, which is really cool. And at some point I'm going to make that diamond pickaxe when I get some more diamonds. So Off camera, I'm going to do a little bit more cleaning up. I'm going to do, I'll stock up on a little bit of the diamond and emerald and stuff so that we've got some. Hello, chicken. You're going to be next on my list. Oh, not anymore, you're not. Bye, chicken. Now I feel bad. And we're also going to have a look at automating some of this new stuff that we've got. I'm also going to spend a bit of time, I think I'll do a few more power relays and stuff and try and get that built up, because that's going to be a bit grindy as well, and I don't really want to bore you guys with it too much. So I'll do that and show you how you make the other two relays, because, well, maybe not the ender one, but definitely the soul lava one, because we want to get that done. So I'll have to do some of my soul lava cows, and but yeah, anyway, I want to say thank you very much for joining me. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you learned a little bit as well about this mod pack, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you did, and you'll get to see me again, and I will see you in episode 8. Thanks again. Have a good one. Stay safe, stay strong, and I'll see you next time. Bye.